You are looking live at Holland Field at North Farmington High School, where tonight the North Farmington Raiders get set to take on the Bloomfield Hills High School Blackhawks. Hello, everybody, and a pleasant Good Friday evening to all of you, wherever you may be. If you were hoping to hear the dulcet tones of Mr. Rich Kincaid tonight, sorry to disappoint you, but I am not Rich Kincaid. I am, however, Brandon Leopold, bringing you all of tonight's action as Mr. Kincaid has done countless of times. I only hope that I can continue in his footsteps. Well, anytime you lose a football game, it certainly leaves a sour taste in your mouth, and North Farmington certainly is no stranger to that, coming off of just an absolutely devastating loss last week by 13 to the Farmington Falcons. So you could imagine that in tonight's game, tensions are going to be a little bit high as North Farmington looks to right the ship after falling to 1-2 after last week's game. And never to be outdone, Bloomfield Hills also comes into this game at 1-2 as well. They actually suffered a defeat at the hands of their rival, Bloomfield, at their last game. Oh my goodness, I can't talk today. And so they are also looking to turn things around here as both teams look to go to 500 on the season. It is a breezy day here at Holland Field, and it is also senior night here at North Farmington High School. Usually that game happens at the end of the season, but what do I know? I'm just a broadcaster. So today, North Farmington will certainly look to lean heavily on their senior leadership as they get set to do battle tonight. And we are just moments away from tonight's kickoff. It will be Bloomfield Hills to kick. And back deep for the Raiders is going to be Leland Hollingsworth and Terrence James, both seniors, as we get set to get this one underway. And here we go. We are underway in tonight's game. And it looks like the ball will be fielded by Jonathan. I apologize. Looks like it'll be fielded by Jonathan Motcher, the junior, number 17 for North Farmington. And the Raiders will open up at the 40-yard line. The Raiders, led by junior quarterback Elijah Cobb, hands the ball off to the running back, who is gang tackled. And it looks like it was good for no gain. It was Terrence James on the carry. I apologize. Check that. It looks like he gained 5 yards on the play, so it'll be 2nd and 5 at the Raider 45-yard line. Cobb out of the shotgun, hands the ball off to Leland Hollingsworth. And Hollingsworth gets up to about the 49-yard line. Call that midfield. Check that, it is on the 49-yard line, and that'll bring up 3rd and 1 for the Raiders. It's sunny, it's breezy here at Holland Field, and that means that, of course, it's a perfect day for football. As Elijah Cobb gets set to take the snap here. And it looks like he's going to run forward and get the Raider first down. So a good run there. Check that, it was Terrence James actually that took the direct snap. And that is one thing John Hurstein likes to do the head coach at North Farmington, is he will sometimes switch up the quarterback position. Might move Elijah Cobb out to wide receiver, or possibly have Terrence James take the direct snap. But this time it's Cobb handing it off to James, and James breaks through for a big run, and he's still going, leaps over a defender, and he is finally pushed out of bounds at about maybe about the 9-yard line. Either way, it is a Raiders first down and a big run by the senior running back. And it looks like we are going to get a replay on that one. As well, it looks like there might be a penalty marker on the field. And it's going to be a holding call against North Farmington, so that will negate the run. And we'll do it again. And now this time, James takes the handoff again, and this time he gets pushed out of bounds a little bit further away from where he was pushed out of bounds before, but all the same, still a big gain for the senior running back, Terrence James, as it brings up 1st and 10 for North Farmington. The ball will be placed at the 26-yard line. Terrence James bringing a good combination of speed and agility to the Raider backfield. Looks like he's going to line up wide this time and double up as a wide receiver. Cobb directly under center. He's going to hand it off to Leland Hollingsworth, the other senior running back, and he's going to be hit almost immediately. Looks like he was tackled for a loss there. We'll see where they marked the ball here, but it was Chase Rosenwaite who led the Blackhawks charge there on defense. It was a loss of 2 on the play, and it's going to bring up 2nd and 12 for the Raiders offense. Cobb out of the shotgun. Pitches it again to Terrence James, and he is met by a host of Blackhawks. Looks like he may have gained anywhere from no gain to maybe a yard there. All the same, it'll still be 3rd down for North Farmington. And actually, check that, it looks like he lost a couple of yards there. So the Raiders going backwards on offense as it brings up 3rd and 14 with the ball on the 30-yard line. So a beautiful run earlier by Terrence James, negated by a holding call against North Farmington, and they have gone backwards ever since. And now Cobb is going to take it himself on the scramble, and he's going to gain a lot of yardage there. He's got plenty of room, and he looks to be in the end zone for the touchdown. We'll await the official signal on that one. And he was brought down just inside the 1-yard line, and that'll bring up a Raiders first down. But a big run there by the junior quarterback, Elijah Cobb. And they're going to take a look at this one on the replay here. And just a beautiful run there by Cobb. And it looks like the Raiders are into the end zone for the touchdown. And the North Farmington Raiders jump out to an early 6-0 lead. And John Fayad on to kick the extra point. One of the many seniors on this varsity football club. And the kick is on its way. And it is good. And North Farmington leads 7-0 with 7:34 to go here in the first quarter. Go for it. A replay of that touchdown again. It was Terrence James again taking the direct snap, getting into the end zone and getting the Raiders a much needed opening score there. And that's always how you want to start. You always want to start fast, score as many points as you can, as often as you can. North Farmington looking to make an early statement here against Bloomfield Hills. Well, one thing to note here, it's not very often that you see a couple of freshmen making varsity football rosters, but North Farmington actually has two of them on their roster, Mason Latimer and Emmanuel Mitchell. Latimer, the quarterback, and Mitchell on the offensive and defensive line, as John Fayad is set to kick off for North Farmington. And the kick is fielded at the 30-yard line by Bloomfield Hills, and he is brought down. Looks like it was Eddie Ruska, the senior defensive back and wide receiver, that was fielding that kick. Brought out to the 39-yard line, and Bloomfield Hills will take over on offense. It's going to be Rocco Colosimo, the senior quarterback, out of the shotgun here. Colosimo handing it off to Caden Gully. And Gully's going to carry it forward for a pretty nice gain there. Christian Green and Terrence James on the tackle for the Raiders. And that'll bring up 2nd and 2 at the 47-yard line with 7 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Colosimo this time handing it off to Eddie Ruska. And Eddie Ruska is met in the backfield by a host of Raider tacklers, and it looks like Terrence James is the one to come up out of the pile first there. The senior defensive back also playing running back tonight, but a very good stop there by the Raider defense. James just came barreling in, almost looked like he was completely unblocked there. And that went for a 2-yard loss, and it's 3rd and 4 on the 45-yard line. Colosimo pass is dropped by Mason Hitchcock, the junior wide receiver. Pass broken up by Rashad Bridges for North Farmington. That's going to bring up 4th down and 4. So we'll see what Bloomfield Hills decides to do here. Looks like they're going to leave their offense on the field. Colosimo waiting to get the signal from the Bloomfield Hills sideline. And here we go. Colosimo takes the snap, looks, fires, and overthrows his intended receiver, Eddie Ruska. And North Farmington is going to take over on downs. It'll be 1st and 10 with 5:55 to go here in the opening quarter at North Farmington High School. The ball will be placed at the 45-yard line as the Raider offense gets set for their second drive of the game. Well, that's been the bugaboo for both of these teams. Starting out this season has been slow starts. Neither team really seeming to be able to find a rhythm early in their first three games. But it looks like North Farmington is well on their way to finding their offense here as James takes the handoff, gets around to the outside, and gets pushed out of bounds by Drew Harst for Bloomfield Hills. Pushed out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Checked at the 41-yard line, which brings up 2nd and 6 for the Raiders. On the replay here, we can see a good job of the blocking up front and a great stiff arm there by James and a missed tackle there by a Bloomfield Hills defender. But all the same, that's what James can do for you. I mentioned his combination of speed and agility as Cobb takes the handoff and scrambles forward, and he's going to find a lot of daylight in front of him, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds finally by a host of Blackhawk defenders. And Cobb picked up 26 yards on that run. Good for a Raiders first down. As the ball will be placed at the 15-yard line. And once again, it looks like James is going to be taking the direct snap for North Farmington. Has the ball off to Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth barrels forward. Leland Hollingsworth tackled there by Desi Commit, the sophomore defensive back for the Blackhawks. Gain of 6 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 4 for the Raiders offense. James out of the shotgun again. Now he's going to scramble it, and he's going to find a lot of running room, and he's going to be brought down at the 1-yard line. But a good run there, as it looks like it was Brooks leading the charge there for the Blackhawks. That's a gain of 7 yards and another first down for the Raiders. Check that the ball is placed at the 2-yard line. So North Farmington off to a very fast start here so far tonight. As now it is Cobb back at quarterback, and Cobb is going to take the scramble, and he is not going to get there, stopped short. Brought down by Cam Harst, the senior linebacker for Bloomfield Hills. Also looked like Felly Commit was the one to lead the charge there. But Harst ultimately was the one that brought Cobb down. And now James, now it looks like we have a couple of penalty markers on the field. And it's going to be a false start against North Farmington, so that's going to back them up 5 yards. And it'll remain 2nd down, but it'll be 2nd and 7 at the 7-yard line. North Farmington opened the season 2 weeks ago with a resounding victory against Livonia Stevenson. Then came back here and suffered a defeat at Walled Lake Western, and then, of course, the big one at Farmington, coming up short by 13 points, but looking to right the ship here tonight. Now we have another penalty marker on the field. This time, I'm not sure exactly what that call was. Maybe an illegal procedure or an illegal shift or something. Either way, the call is against North Farmington, and that'll move them back an additional 5 yards. Well, one thing about these penalties, especially in the red zone, that is the one place you do not want to commit them. They will kill your drives every time. So we'll see if North Farmington can recover here. But so far, back-to-back penalties against the Raiders. And now a third penalty. And I don't know what is going on here tonight with the Raiders offense, but now there's 3 penalties in a row, pushing the Raiders back an additional 5 yards. And here we go. Cobb is going to scramble, and he's going to throw it, and it's going to be caught. And it was Leland Hollingsworth who made that catch. And that's how you get a good chunk of those yards back. Hollingsworth falling out of bounds. On the replay there, Cobb scrambles out to his right, avoids the pressure there. A beautifully thrown ball to Leland Hollingsworth. And now James takes the snap, runs up the middle, and he is into the end zone for the Raiders touchdown. The second one of the game. And it's 13-0 in favor of North Farmington with 3:13 to go here at Holland Field. So after a drive that looked like it was one of the weirdest drives I've seen in a while, 3 back-to-back penalties on North Farmington, didn't seem to matter as it results in another Raider touchdown. And now they're going to fake the extra point, and the 2-point conversion is good. A little trickeration going on by North Farmington. It was Carter Asbell who came up on the receiving end of that catch, and it looks like Will Latra was the one who threw him the pass. And we're going to take a look at the fake here on the replay. And it was indeed Latra. Perfect pass to Carter Asbell. Perfect catch. Everything had to work in sync at the same time, and everything did. And because of that, we are looking at a 15-0 score in favor of the Raiders with 3:13 to go here in the opening quarter. Well, that's a good way if you're Bloomfield Hills to take the wind out of your sails. Not only do you give up the second touchdown to the same guy who scored the first touchdown, but you also give up the 2-point conversion as well. So I imagine that there's going to be some talking to here when the first half comes to an end. But for now, John Fayad getting set to kick off for the Raiders. And Fayad kicks it, fielded at about the 5-yard line there by John Al-Sadi for Bloomfield Hills. And he's met by a host of Raider defenders. Looks like he's brought down around the 25-yard line. Check that, looks like it's at the 17-yard line. So with 3:04 to go here in the opening quarter, Bloomfield Hills High School will take over on offense. Carter Asbell, the guy that caught the 2-point conversion for North Farmington was one of the first ones to come out of the pile there. And now Rocco Colosimo will begin the second drive of the game for Bloomfield Hills. Takes the snap, looks, fires, he's got a man, and he is going to find a lot of daylight there, and he's met by Jameer Renty, the junior defensive back for North Farmington. Looked like Drew Harst was on the receiving end of that pass by Colosimo. Had a lot of room to run there. It looked like Rashad Bridges was the closest man to him, but ultimately it was Jameer Renty who ended up making the play there. And Colosimo is going to hand it off to John Almsadi, and he's going to barrel forward to midfield. A good carry there by Almsadi. Pick up of 7 yards on the play. Brings up 2nd and 3 for the Blackhawks. Colosimo out of the shotgun, brings a man in motion. And we have a whistle. Looks like the play is dead. Interested to see what the goings-on are over here. Well, the referee whistled the play dead, not sure why, but all the same, we pick up at 2nd and 3 with 1:52 to go here in the opening quarter. And Colosimo brings a man in motion, and he's going to hand it off to Almsadi again. Trying to keep his legs moving there, and he's brought down by a host of Raiders defenders. But all the same, it is a first down for the Blackhawks as the ball is now in Raider territory, marked at the North Farmington 45-yard line. Well, that is the strength of the Blackhawks football team, is running the football. And we see why there. Almsadi keeping his legs moving despite being wrapped up by a horde of Raider defenders. Colosimo now going to pass this time, and it is caught and tackled almost immediately by Jameer Renty. There was a gain of 6 on that play. It'll bring up 2nd and 4 with the ball placed at the 39-yard line. Almsadi was in motion, but the referee has whistled the play dead. Looks like it's going to be a false start against Bloomfield Hills. That's going to move him back 5 yards. Going to bring up 2nd and 9 for the Blackhawks. And across the defensive line for the Raiders, looks like it's going to be Derek Cobb, Leland Hollingsworth, Gabriel Jankowski, the big three for the Raiders defense. And Colosimo's pass is complete to Almsadi. He's tackled out of bounds by Jameer Renty. As the first quarter comes to an end, we're going to flip the field here, and it is 15-0 in favor of the North Farmington Raiders. We are going to cut to a PSA. We'll be right back. You're watching North Farmington Raiders football. And welcome back to Holland Field at North Farmington High School. We're just moments away from beginning the second quarter tonight, and the Raiders have jumped out to an early 15-0 lead. And the tale of the tape so far for both North Farmington and Bloomfield Hills has been the running game. So far for North Farmington, Terrence James, the senior running back, responsible for both touchdowns, and then a spectacular fake on the extra point, leading to a Carter Asbell reception for the 2-point conversion is how we have arrived at our score. And Colosimo now takes the snap for the Blackhawks, handed the ball off to the running back, and he was met by a group of Raiders defenders. Gabe Jankowski, the junior, leading the charge there for North Farmington. So far, the Raiders' defense has been the tail of the tape so far in this game. And Colosimo's pass is incomplete. Good coverage there by the Raiders. Leland Hollingsworth providing the coverage for the defense. Brings up 2nd and 10 for the Blackhawks. Rocco Colosimo, the senior quarterback for the Blackhawks, leading this drive, hoping to get the same result as North Farmington did in their last possession. Bringing Alzadi in motion, and Colosimo's going to pass it to Alzadi, and he's going to make the catch, and he's going to go down the sideline, and he's finally brought out of bounds by Hollingsworth. Correction, it was Dakota Janchik on the receiving end of that Colosimo pass. 1st and 10 for the Blackhawks. Colosimo's pass is complete to Dakota Janchik again, and he is into the end zone for the Blackhawks touchdown. It is currently 15-6 now in favor of North Farmington with 11:14 to go here in the half. Looked like maybe a missed assignment there or perhaps a blown coverage, because Janchik was wide open on his way to the end zone, and it's going to be Kyle Sherman lining up the kick for the Blackhawks. Sherman's kick is up, and it is good, and it is 15-7 Raiders after the extra point. I'll take a look at that touchdown pass by Colosimo. Janchik just head and shoulders above the Raiders defenders. Looked like Braxton Ward was in there on the coverage. Jumped up there to try to get a big old paw up there and knock the pass away, but unfortunately it was to no avail. And the pass ended up in Janchik's hands in the end zone. Well, as I mentioned earlier, it's very rare to see a freshman playing on the varsity football team. But in North Farmington, on that last possession by Bloomfield Hills, Emmanuel Mitchell, the freshman defensive lineman, was on the field for the majority of that drive. Somebody that John Herstein and company think very highly of for this Raiders football team. And now back to receive for North Farmington. It looks like it's going to be a changing of the guard, as it's going to be Elijah Cobb as the main returner closest to the Bloomfield Hills sideline. And Terrence James moves to the up back position. That's going to be Nathan Gignac, the senior kicker and punter for Bloomfield Hills, to kick this one off. And this kick goes out of bounds, and that's going to draw a penalty marker. It's going to be an illegal procedure penalty against the Blackhawks. And so with that, the ball will be placed at the 35-yard line of North Farmington as they take over on offense for this upcoming possession. And Cobb almost dropped that snap, but either way, he hands it off to James, and he's going to take it. Looks like to the house. Count it down with me. 10, 5, touchdown Raiders. Terrence James taking that one to the house. How about that for a how do you do? Terrence James responsible for all 3 Raiders touchdowns, and with 11 minutes to go here in the first half, it is North Farmington 21 and Bloomfield Hills 7. Just an absolutely punishing run there by the senior running back. Making a statement on senior night here at North Farmington. Well, on a run like that, everything has to be working in tandem. Offensive line with some great blocking. James found the space, took it to the house. And the extra point attempt by John Fayad is no good. It was 21-7. It is 21-7 in favor of the Raiders. We'll take a look at that touchdown there by Terrence James. Takes the handoff, found the hole, was able to cut back and just absolutely blow by all of the Blackhawks defenders down the sideline for the touchdown. Absolute beauty of a run there. Is the tail of the tape on that touchdown run. And so North Farmington will get set to kick this one off. As I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, both Bloomfield Hills and North Farmington looking to get back to 500 tonight after this game. And so far, North Farmington is in the driver's seat to be the first one to do that. This will also be, if the score holds on throughout the game and North Farmington does end up winning, this will also be the second conference game for North Farmington and the third for Bloomfield Hills, as this kick is underway, and it is going to be fielded and dropped deep in Blackhawk territory. It was fielded at the 3-yard line, and then the kickoff ended up going out of bounds. Looked like Ruska there was the one that mishandled that kickoff return. And if you're Bloomfield Hills and you're trying to get back into this game, that is one thing you cannot have happen. You cannot have a mistake like that, especially by your senior. So we'll see how the Blackhawks recover here as Colosimo leads the offense onto the field. Brandon Leopold here with you, calling tonight's action from North Farmington High School, filling in for Rich Kincaid. Happy to bring you all tonight's action as Colosimo heaves this one downfield, and it is going to fall incomplete. Jad Almsadi, the intended target there for the Blackhawks. Leland Hollingsworth with the coverage there for the Raiders. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10 with the ball at the 3-yard line. Let's take a look at that last play there. Colosimo handled the snap really well. Pump fake, heaved the ball downfield. And it looked like for at least a moment there that John Almsadi had the ball in his fingertips but was not able to complete the catch. And Colosimo's pass this time over the head of Almsadi. And again, Leland Hollingsworth in coverage for the Raiders. Jonathan Matcher and Elijah Moore in for the Raiders on defense as that pass is incomplete as well. It was broken up by Jameer Renty, but there is a flag on the field. Blackhawks saying the penalty is going to be against North Farmington. We will see what the officials have to say. And indeed, the penalty will be against North Farmington. And we'll see where they mark it off here. Looks like Will Zintaris, the sophomore offensive tackle, leading the Blackhawks offensive line. And Colosimo handing it off to Dakota Janchik, excuse me. Picked up a couple there. It's going to bring up 2nd down for the Blackhawks. Sorry, it looks like he lost a yard there actually, so it'll be 2nd and 11 for the Blackhawks. Colosimo looking, fires, complete to Almsadi. Almsadi trying to barrel his way forward. Tackled there by Elijah Cobb. That's going to bring a 1st down for the Blackhawks. Taking a look at some more of the Blackhawks offense. Mason Hitchcock, the junior wide receiver, as well as Falou Cisse, the senior center, doing the snapping for the Blackhawks. And Nolan Metz, the senior offensive lineman as well, along the interior. And Colosimo's pass is intercepted by Leland Hollingsworth. And it's going to be a turnover, and the Raiders will be on offense. Take a look at that interception by Hollingsworth. Check that. It's going to be the first down play earlier by Jad Elmsadi. So the Raiders take over on offense. And it's going to be Cobb handing it off to James again. And James is going to break through the Blackhawks defense again. And he's going to find some daylight. And he's going to be brought down at looks like the 8-yard line for the Raiders. Have a game, Terrence James. A 38-yard gain on that play. Pretty much been the entirety of the Raiders' offense. But hey, you'll take it. Looks like Leland Hollingsworth lining up at wide receiver, as it's going to be Cobb taking it in himself for the North Farmington touchdown. And so with 8:30 to go here in the half, it's going to be North Farmington 27, Bloomfield Hills 7. And the route is on for North Farmington. Well, a statement had to be made, and so far North Farmington is making it tonight. Latcher the hold. And Fayad the kick. The kick is on its way, and it is up and it is good. And it is now a 28-7 Raider lead with 8.5 to go in the opening half. We got a replay of that Elijah Cobb touchdown. Quarterback taking it in himself. And a beautiful run there. Pulling a Thanos, fine, I'll do it myself. And so now the Raiders will get set to kick it off. As darkness begins to creep in over Holland Field on a gorgeous September night here at North Farmington. Always a great day to be a Raider and always a great night for football. And Fayad set to kick it off. And it is going to be fielded by the Blackhawks at about the 10-yard line. They're going to bring it up to about the 25. And that was Eddie Ruska, the senior wide receiver that fielded that one. Bring up 1st and 10 for the Blackhawks at their own 25-yard line. Of course, the headline that dominated the world of high school football just a couple weeks ago, of course, the passing of Brother Rice head coach Al Fracassa, a legend among high school football teams. Presence felt all across the state of Michigan, including here at North Farmington. You'd be hard-pressed to find any coach that did not, in some way, have some sort of lesson that he took from Coach Fracassa. And Colosimo's pass was incomplete there. It looks like we have an injured Blackhawk on the field. And while we have a break in the action, we will head to a PSA. You're watching North Farmington football on TV 10.
We are the MHSAA, a collection of 750 high schools and 750 middle schools, from Temperance to Copper Harbor, from New Buffalo to Alpena. Each year, more than 250,000 students play one of our 28 sports. More than 1.5 million fans attend our postseason games. There are 30,000 coaches and 8,000 officials, not to mention all of the volunteers. The MHSAA believes in the 4 S's. School sports should be safe and kept in the appropriate scope. We believe nothing beats great sportsmanship, and that scholarship in the classroom is more important than excellence on the field or court. Most of all, we believe school sports should be fun. So come out and join us at a game. Support your school, support your community, and come see what the excitement is all about.
Back to Holland Field at North Farmington High School. Brandon Leopold here with you, filling in for Rich Kincaid tonight. We have an injured Blackhawk player on the field. The helmet is off. Hopefully nothing too concerning, but it looks like Coach Scott Merchant and the trainer Monica Ricci and Amanda Dam on to take a look. Looks like it was Jadam Sadi who was the injured Blackhawk on that play, walking off the field under his own power. Thank goodness for that. And we are going to resume play momentarily. Well, if Sadi is unable to continue this game, it's going to be a big blow to the Blackhawks offense as they get set to begin this drive, trailing 28-7 to the Raiders. Sadi so far has been the favorite target for Rocco Colosimo tonight. And the handoff to the running back there, gang tackled by the Raiders. A short gain there. And it was Gabe Jankowski who was leading the Raiders defense there. And now we got a whistle. Looks like it's going to be a penalty on the Raiders. It's going to push the defense back 5 yards, but for the offense, it still remains third down, going from 3rd and 7 now to 3rd and 2 at the 33-yard line. Colosimo is a man in motion, takes the snap, hands it off, and is going to be tackled almost immediately. Looks like Dakota Janchik. Tackled there by Elijah Cobb. And he's going to come up short of the line of scrimmage there. And that's going to bring up 4th down for the Blackhawks. Elijah Cobb coming in underneath the big boys there, sneaking his way into the backfield and creating that tackle. Looks like David Minisi, the senior linebacker, in on defense for the Raiders, along with Jameer Renty, number 11. I'm sorry, number 7. Number 11 is Rashad Bridges. And for the Blackhawks, looks like Dominic Morocco is in on the Blackhawk offensive line. And number 11, Chase Rosenweg, the tight end, making an appearance for the Blackhawks offense, along with Caden Whitmire, the junior fullback. Just some of the offensive weapons for Colosimo and this Blackhawks offense. Bryant Snyder in at running back now. Snyder, the team captain for the Blackhawks. And he takes the handoff here. I'm sorry, that's Dakota Janchik taking the handoff there. And again, hit almost immediately. However, was able to get enough forward progress there to pick up the first down. So that brings up 1st and 10 for the Blackhawks with the ball at the 35-yard line. Caden Gully, the other running back, in for the Blackhawks. Colosimo fakes it to Gully and looked like he was going to either scramble or just couldn't find anybody to pass the ball to. And that's going to go down as a sack by the Raiders. Gabe Jankowski in there again. As we see just a overwhelming Raiders defensive line there. Christian Green, the senior linebacker, also in on the stop there. That brings up 2nd and 16 at the 29-yard line. And that was Harston motion as Colosimo fakes the handoff, and he's going to go down again, and again sacked by this Raiders defense. The Raiders just absolutely swarming this Blackhawks offensive line, just absolutely overmatching and overpowering these offensive linemen. As we see right there, looks like it was number 52, Willie McNair Harrison, the senior defensive lineman, with that sack. And it's 3rd and 22 now for the Blackhawks. Colosimo hands it off, and a missed tackle there by North Farmington leads to some forward progress, but not enough, as Dakota Janchik is brought down. David Manissi looks like on the stop for North Farmington, and that brings up 4th and 22. And it looks like for the first time tonight, we're going to see the punt team on the field. It's going to be Nathan Gignac to punt for the Blackhawks. And back deep for the Raiders on the return. Looks like it's going to be Elijah Cobb and Terrence James. Check that, it's Hollingsworth. And James, as the punt goes out of bounds, at about the 48-yard line, and North Farmington will take over on offense. Check that, the ball went out of bounds at midfield. Either way, it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Raiders with 4 minutes to go here in the half. Looks like it's going to be Cobb under center. Cobb takes the snap, hands it off to James. James fighting his way forward. Picks up 5 on the play. Cam Harst on the tackle there for the Blackhawks. It's going to bring up 2nd and 5 for the Raiders. Terrence James has been the story of the game today for the Raiders offense. Absolutely showing off his speed, his agility, his power runs. He is very, very difficult to bring down. And Cobb's pass, high, intended for Hollingsworth, and that's going to fall incomplete. Looks like that one may have slipped out of Cobb's hand because that was way over the head of Leland Hollingsworth. And that'll bring up 3rd and 5 for the Raiders. And it's going to be James with the ball now, and he's going to find a little bit of running room. Met by a host of Blackhawk defenders. Good pickup there. We'll see where they spot the ball.
That'll be another Raiders first down.
And it's going to be another Raiders first down. C.J. Thomas making the tackle there for the Blackhawks in the end. And the ball will be marked at the 37-yard line. 2:39 to go in the half. 28-7 in favor of North Farmington is the tail of the tape so far. Cobb takes the snap, looking for someplace to go, and he's going to be chased, and he's going to get out of the pressure, and now he's going to scramble and pick up a little bit of yardage there. We'll see exactly what the end result of that play was going to be, but it looked like a broken play from the start there. Cobb looked like he really didn't want to run that one. It looks like he may have had a bad snap there, but the hole it looked like he was going to run through closed off kind of quickly there. Did make one defender miss, but eventually dragged out of bounds by Cam Harst, and it's 2nd and 9. Cobb handing it off to James. James darting forward. Met almost immediately. Was tackled by Avery Willis. Excuse me, Avery Lewis for Bloomfield Hills. Picked up 3 on that play. It's going to be 3rd and 6 for the Raiders. Terrence James having a bit of a wardrobe malfunction there. Trying to make sure everything is in good working condition. And now goes back to join his offensive teammates in the huddle. And now we've got a North Farmington timeout. That's going to be the first timeout of the half. And while we have a break in the action, we're going to cut to a PSA. You're listening to North Farmington, you're watching North Farmington football on TV 10.
Every high school sporting event in the state of Michigan has one thing in common: officials. Every game, every meet, every match. Without officials, there'd be no touchdowns, no three-pointers, no face-offs. Without officials, there'd be no games. Officiating is a great way to give back to your community and stay involved with the sports you love. And officials are needed now more than ever, because without officials, it's just practice.
Welcome back to Holland Field at North Farmington High School. Brandon Leopold filling in tonight for Rich Kincaid, bringing you all of tonight's action. 28-7 in favor of the North Farmington Raiders, in case you're just tuning in. And Cobb hands the ball off to, looks like Hollingsworth, who was eventually pushed out of bounds. It was Drew Harst making the stop there. Some forward progress made, but not enough, as it's going to bring up 4th and 6 for the Raiders, and decision time. See if they decide to go for it here, and it looks like they will. And it looks like it's going to be Terrence James taking the direct snap. And he's going to run forward, and he is going to be met there. Tackled by Avery Lewis for the Blackhawks. It looks like he's going to be short. It's going to be a turnover on downs for the Raiders, and the Blackhawks are going to take over on offense. With 1:08 to go here in the half. The story of the first half, all offense for the Raiders, led by senior running back Terrence James, showing off some impressive speed and agility to find the end zone a couple of times tonight. And of course, early in the first quarter, after the Raiders' second touchdown, the fake extra point that ended up in the waiting arms of Carter Asbell for the successful two-point conversion. And so far, just nothing doing for Bloomfield Hills on offense. An absolutely stifling defense by the Raiders. So we'll see if Coach Scott Merchant can make the necessary adjustments in the second half and maybe spark some life into this Bloomfield Hills offense. Also want to make a note that it is senior night here at North Farmington. And so far it's been the seniors who have carried the load for the Raiders offense. As it looks like Will Latra will be lining up at wide receiver now. Cobb out of the shotgun, takes the snap, pitches it to James, who lost the football but recovers it nicely. So I apologize, folks. I said earlier that it was a turnover on downs for the Raiders. That was not the case. It was, in fact, a first down for North Farmington. And now Cobb is going to take the snap and run it forward himself in the waning seconds. Here are the half. Ball is down at the 13-yard line. Going to bring up 1st and 10 for North Farmington. Cobb takes the snap, and he's going to toss it into the end zone. And it is caught, and it is a Raider touchdown with 24 seconds to go. In the half, it's going to be 34-7. North Farmington, Leland Hollingsworth on the receiving end of that pass. What an absolute beauty of a pass there by Elijah Cobb. Finding Leland Hollingsworth in the back of the end zone for the Raider touchdown, and now we await the Jod Fayad extra point. Snap, good, hold, good. Kick is on its way. It is up, and it is good. And it is now 35-7 in favor of North Farmington with 24 seconds to go in the half. Let's take a look at the touchdown there by North Farmington. That looked like it was Nicholas Sanders there on the coverage for the Lakers. I'm sorry, for the Blackhawks. My goodness. I stand corrected. It was Desi Kmet on the coverage there. But all for naught as Hollingsworth came away with the touchdown reception. So now the Raiders getting set to kick it off here. And that is going to hit and be picked up around the 18-yard line. And it's going to be commit who fielded that one. Found some daylight there, but finally brought down by a group of Raiders defenders. Looks like Will Latra, the first one to get there. And that's going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Blackhawks with the ball at the 47-yard line. 13 seconds to go here in the half. 35-7 Raiders. And Colosimo's pass complete to Zach Kraft, and he will be pushed out of bounds in Raider territory. And mark it at the 45-yard line of North Farmington. Colosimo out of the shotgun. Looks, and he is going to be brought down by Jonathan Mocker. And it looks like we might have another injured Blackhawk on the field. Looks like it's going to be Nolan Metz coming up limping there. And that's going to do it for the first half. It is going to be 35-7 in favor of the Raiders as we go into halftime. We're going to step away for a moment. You're watching North Farmington Raiders football on TV 10.
include a saxophone quartet with Danny Zhao, Megan Cucina, Lily Bono, Madison Stiff, and a brass quintet with Toby Casper, Robin Schott, Nyla Pyle, Luke DeBlanc, Johnny Boyd. Drum major first class Brooke Dether and assistant drum major Alana Daniel. Is your band ready?
Okay, really, it's me.
Being an outlaw means 3 things. You've got the law after you. You've got the enemy after you. You got luck on your side. In the West, you have to make your own bread.
Like you're the son. I feel like Teletubbies with the baby on the sunshine.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Spirit of North Raider Marching Band. See them perform again at home. Football games all season long. Same Raider time, same Raider place. Until next time, go Raiders! Assistance for a second. A member of our TV10 crew is celebrating her 18th birthday tonight. Her name is Bella Dianchi, and we're gonna sing to her. Thanks, everybody.
You are once again looking live at Holland Field at North Farmington High School. The brown and yellow lights flashing. We got the smoke machine going. It is going to make for an incredible second half at senior night here at North Farmington High School. I'm Brandon Leopold filling in for Rich Kincaid as we are moments away from getting this second half underway. 35-7, the score in favor of North Farmington. Thunderstruck playing over the loudspeakers. This place is ready to rock, and we hope you are too, as it's going to be Jad Fayyad set to kick off to open the second half for the Raiders. Well, the good news is on the scoreboard, but we do have some bad news to deliver for the Bloomfield Hills Blackhawks, as just before halftime, Nolan Metz, the senior offensive lineman, was seen hobbling off the field with crutches. So a big blow there to the Blackhawks offensive line. We will see in the coming days what the injury report is going to be on that one. As the second half is underway, and the ball comes out to about the 35-yard line.
Returned by Philly Smith. Tackled by Carter Asbell.
Carter Asbell in on the tackle for North Farmington.
Blackhawks on the 35-yard line.
And it was Felly Kmit who returned that kickoff for the Blackhawks. The story of the first half so far has been absolute domination by the Raiders offense, which brought us to this 35-7 score, and you can thank Elijah Cobb and Terrence James for that, leading the charge on a way to a 35-7 first half score. Colosimo looking, and he is going to go get hit, and he's going to go down. Another sack by this Raiders defense. And this time it was the freshman Emmanuel Mitchell in on the sack for the Raiders. The freshman defensive lineman who Coach John Herstein and company is very high on so far for the Raiders, making his presence felt early here in the second half. 2nd and 17 as Colosimo looks, fires, caught, and met almost immediately. That was Drew Harst, the senior receiver, with the catch for the Blackhawks. And it was Will Latra on the tackle for the Raiders. Brings up 3rd and 10 now for the Blackhawks. Colosimo takes a snap, looks, pitches it out to Zach Kraft. Charges forward to about the 36, 37-yard line. David Minisee, linebacker, leading the charge for the Raiders defense on that one. Brings up 4th and 8 for the Blackhawks, and they will be forced to punt it away as the second half opens with a 3-and-out. It's going to be Leland Hollingsworth back deep for the Raiders. And Nathan Gignac to punt it away. High snap. Kick taken back at about the 25-yard line. And it looks like a muffed punt there. And it's going to be Blackhawk football. And a costly turnover there by the Raiders, as now the Blackhawks will have excellent field position. In Raider territory, and the muff punt there by Leland Hollingsworth, just unable, I don't know if he lost it in the lights or something, but he was just unable to come up with the ball there. And it was Cam Harst who came away with the football for the Blackhawks. And they now begin the second drive of the second half on offense once again. Beautiful night for football here at North Farmington High School. Raiders fans getting treated to a 35-7 score on senior night. And ironically enough, for those of you just tuning in, it's been the senior Terrence James and the junior Elijah Cobb who've done most of the work for the Raiders so far in this one. Looks like we got a little powwow going on among the referees. North Farmington is signaling that it is their football.
Ball touched the kicking team first.
And it looks like the ball touched
Downing the ball at the 32-yard line.
the
32-yard line will be first and 10 for the Raiders.
Blackhawks first. And so that means it's going to be Raiders football now on offense, and they are going to have the ball first and 10 at their own 22-yard line. So a reversal of fortunes here as Cobb is going to take the snap, and he is going to scramble, and he is going to pass, and he is going to complete that pass. To Carter Asbell.
That's a gain of 15 yards and another Raiders first down.
Picked up 15 yards on that play. It's going to be a Raiders first down. A beautiful throw on the run there by the junior quarterback. A wild turn of events here to start the second half here. What looked like it was going to be a muff punt turned out to be touched first by the Blackhawks. Ultimately ended up being Raiders football. Cobb pitches it out to Terrence James. James gets to about the 37, 38-yard line before he gets hit. And it was Johnny Bahu making the tackle there for the Blackhawks. Bahu, the junior defensive back. And it was a pickup of one there, second and 9, ball on the 38 for the Raiders. Cobb working out of the shotgun. Takes the snap, looks, and he heaves it downfield, and that pass is caught almost in midfield. Looks like it's going to be about the 47, 48-yard line. Carter Asbell again with the reception.
Another Raiders first down.
And that's going to be another first down for the Raiders. Christian Green coming in now at running back to replace Terrence James. Also looks like Alex Lum, the sophomore, will be coming in to replace Leland Hollingsworth. And here we go. Cobb under center this time. It's going to hand it off to Lum, and Lum is going to charge forward into Blackhawk territory. Looks like around the maybe 49, 48-yard line. Sorry, it was Logan Murphy on the carry there, not Alex Lum. Both Lum and Murphy wearing number 26 for the brown and gold. Cobb hands it off. Met immediately by the Blackhawks. That was Murphy again on the carry. Tackled there by Felly Kmet, the sophomore linebacker for the Blackhawks. Looks like he got to about the 49-yard line, but not much further than that. It's 3rd and 7 for North Farmington. Cobb with a two-back set. Takes the snap. Hands it off again to Hollingsworth this time. And he is going to shake a couple of defenders before he's finally brought down. At around the, looks like the 32-yard line, 33-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Raiders. And again, as has been the story all night long, another one of the many seniors on this North Farmington football roster leading the way for the Raiders offense. Cobb out of the shotgun. Cobb takes the snap, looks, heaves it downfield. He's got James, and he overthrows him. That pass is going to be incomplete, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Raiders. Cobb looked like that one just kind of sailed on him. Just out of the reach of the senior running back, Terrence James. And so here we go. Cobb takes the snap, hands it off. And looking for somewhere to go as Hollingsworth bumps into his own man. Looked like it was Willie McNair Harrison that got in the way there. And it was Johnny Bahu to come in and clean up for the Blackhawks. And we'll see where they spot this one. Looks like it was a 3-yard loss there. 3rd and 13 now for the Raiders at the 36-yard line with 4:57 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Cobb takes the snap. Cobb scrambling. Cobb running forward. Cobb tackled at about the, call it the 27, 28-yard line. Tackled there by Cam Harst. Ball spotted at the 26-yard line, and it's 4th and 2 for the Raiders. And decision time now. Do they keep the offense on the field as they've done most of the game? Do they dare attempt to kick? Maybe try a little coffin corner punt? I highly doubt that third option is going to take place, given that they are in enemy territory, but stranger things have happened. And we'll see what the Raiders decide to do here with this 4th down. And it looks like North Farmington's going to take a timeout here, and so will we. We're going to step aside for a PSA. You're watching North Farmington football on TV 10.
Today I'm going to tell you about sportsmanship because it's important. Treat your opponents the way you would want to be treated. My mom says that. Listen to the referees. It's their job. Be nice to their team and our team. Cheer them on. Always play fair. It's the right thing to do. It's sportsmanship. It's not that hard.
And welcome back to Holland Field at North Farmington High School on a beautiful night for football here at North Farmington. I am Brandon Leopold, filling in for Rich Kincaid tonight. Sorry to disappoint you if you were hoping to tune in and hear Mr. Kincaid's dulcet tones. 35-7, the score here in this one. And as I mentioned all night long, it is senior night here at North Farmington. Thank you to those of you who are just tuning in. And it looks like it's going to be James who's going to take the snap here. Gets away from one defender, charges forward, and brought down by Johnny Bahu. And that's going to be enough to move the chains and bring up yet another Raiders first down. So the offense picking up this half right where they left off in the previous half. So how did we get here? Well, you could thank Elijah Cobb and Terrence James for that, as they've been the ones so far doing the bulk of the work on the offense for the Raiders. And of course, back in the first quarter, the fake extra point leading to a 2-point conversion as Cobb scrambles, and he is going to be hit almost immediately. Maybe picked up a yard or two there. All the same, tackle made by Felly Kmit, the sophomore linebacker for the Blackhawks. And a couple more passing touchdowns by Elijah Cobb. And here we stand with a 35-7 Raiders lead in the third quarter. About 2.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. 2nd and 10 for the Raiders. Ball spotted at the 19-yard line. James lining out wide for the Raiders. And it's going to be Hollingsworth to take this handoff. Rushes forward for a few yards. C.J. Thomas on the tackle there for the Blackhawks. See where they spot this one. It's going to be a pickup of 6 yards, 3rd and 4 at the 13-yard line. The Raiders in their dark brown, almost black jerseys with the yellow helmets going from left to right across your television screen. But it looks like the Raiders will take another timeout here in the second half. And as they do, we will step aside for a PSA. You're watching North Farmington football on TV 10.
Looking for a score, a schedule, a story? MHSAA.com has you covered. Our newly redesigned website has everything you need to follow high school sports in Michigan. And it's optimized for mobile use. Fans can submit scores on a Friday night, check playoff pairings and game times, or read about the student athletes from your community. Your first stop is MHSAA.com. Connect with us online and get everything you need all in one place.
And welcome back to Holland Field at North Farmington High School. Again, for those of you who are just tuning in, I'm Brandon Leopold, filling in tonight for Rich Kincaid. And Elijah Cobb set to take the snap for the Raiders. Does, hands it off to Hollingsworth, and he's tackled there by, looks like Brent Brook. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Brian Snyder, the senior linebacker and team captain for the Blackhawks. Only manages to get a couple there. It's going to bring up 4th and 4 at the 13-yard line with just over a minute to go here in the third quarter. It looks like Jonathan Motcher, the junior tight end, number 17 for the Raiders, came up limping a little bit there, so that'll be an interesting watch to keep an eye on there. As it's going to be James this time taking the snap. James looking for someplace to go, cuts it back to the left. He's going to leap over a man and continue to move forward. Terrence James showing some impressive agility there. Brought down there at the 2-yard line, and it'll be 1st and goal for the Raiders with 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. James taking the direct snap there. Didn't see anywhere to go on the right, so why not cut it back to the left? Makes a couple men miss, a little tipsy, a little doodle, a little yoink, and finally brought down at the 2-yard line. Now Cobb back in at quarterback. In the waning seconds of the third quarter, Cobb's going to take the snap, hand it off to Hollingsworth. He's going to barrel his way into the end zone for the North Farmington touchdown. And the punishment continues. It is now 41-7 as time expires in favor of the Raiders. And once again, the Raiders offense leaning heavily on their seniors to carry this load. And Hollingsworth says, I think I will. Thank you very much. And the kick for the extra point is up and good. And it is now 42-7 as we begin the fourth quarter. As we can see on the replay there, Hollingsworth just barreling his way forward. Just too much for the Blackhawks defense to handle. And the light show has returned at North Farmington, so the Raider faithful getting a treat tonight. Seeing a couple of pretty cool light shows, as well as a complete and utter rout by their hometown Raiders. Well, as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, North Farmington suffering a just absolute heartbreaking defeat at the hands of the Farmington Falcons, and desperately needed to find a way to turn themselves around, and they have done that so far in a big way here tonight. And on the other side, for the Bloomfield Hills Blackhawks, ever since their lone touchdown back in the first half, things have just not been able to go their way. They've just been able to get nothing going on offense. And that's why we are at the score that we are. The kick is fielded by the Blackhawks, coming out to about the 25-yard line. That was Brent Brooks, the senior, on the return there. And the tackle was made by Rashad Bridges of the Raiders. And so, Rocco Colosimo, the senior quarterback, getting set to lead the Blackhawks offense on this second offensive drive of the second half. Colosimo drops back, looks, fires, and it is caught. Looks like it was Eddie Ruska on the receiving end of that pass. And has been the story all season long, or all game long. Hit almost immediately by the Raiders defense. Picks up 4 yards there. It's going to be 2nd and 6 for the Blackhawks. Colosimo back, heaves downfield and overthrows his intended receiver. That was Zach Kraft that he was trying to find there. But nothing doing as that pass falls incomplete. Well, if you're just tuning in so far, if you like offense, you were definitely treated to some fireworks by the Raiders offense. 42-7 with 9:43 to go in the game. As it's going to be Caden Gully with the carry there. Brought down around the 35-yard line. Checked at the 33-yard line. And it's going to bring up 4th and 2 for the Blackhawks. Well, you're down by $1 million, and you really have nothing to lose, so you may as well keep your offense on the field here on this 4th down try. Colosimo tosses it to Ruska with the catch and the first down. For the Blackhawks there. And so a successful this time 4th down conversion. And it'll bring up 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line for the Blackhawks. Nice and easy pitch and catch there. Colosimo to Ruska. Colosimo takes the snap, looks. Now gets away from the pressure, fires, and it is incomplete. Some good coverage there by the Raiders as that pass finally hits the ground. Looked like Rashad Bridges on the coverage for North Farmington. And here we go. Colosimo takes the snap, hands it off, and the running back is met immediately in the backfield and brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Dakota Janchik on the carry there, but nothing doing. And that was a 5-yard loss on that one. So that brings up 3rd and 15 with the ball being spotted at the 35-yard line, for the Blackhawks. Now we have a whistle here just before the snap. Let's see what the stoppage is here. It looks like it's going to be encroachment against the Raiders. So that'll move the ball forward 5 yards. And it'll bring up 3rd and 10 now. A much more manageable 3rd down situation for the Blackhawks. Colosimo takes the snap, drops back, looks, fires, and it is incomplete. Threw the ball into double coverage, and it looks like we've got another injured Blackhawk on the field. It looked like it was Cherkasky there who took the brunt of that hit. He's going to walk off the field under his own power. That was Logan Murphy on the coverage there for the Raiders. And so it's 4th and 10 at the 40-yard line for the Raiders. Colosimo pass falls incomplete, in and out of the hands of Caden Gully. And that's going to be a turnover on downs. North Farmington is going to take over 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. And it's been the story all game long for the Blackhawks ever since they got that touchdown back in the first half. Just absolutely going nowhere on offense. And credit some of that to the stifling defense of the Raiders, but also, too, some mistakes of their own. Incomplete passes. They had a couple of punts. A couple of sacks by the Raiders as well, causing the offense for the Blackhawks to just absolutely sputter. And now North Farmington calls a timeout. And as they do, we're going to step aside as well. We'll get you over to a PSA. You're watching North Farmington football on TV 10.
Every high school sporting event in the state of Michigan has one thing in common: officials. Every game, every meet, every match. Without officials, they're
at Holland Field at North Farmington High School. 2-7 the score in favor of the North Farmington Raiders. If you're just tuning in, welcome to tonight's broadcast. I am Brandon Leopold, filling in tonight for Rich Kincaid, bringing you the final 4 minutes and 25 seconds of this one. And the Raiders now coming out on offense. And it looks like we're going to possibly have a changing of the guard at quarterback. Looks like it's going to be Stone Trevino, the sophomore, in at quarterback, and Logan Murphy, the ball carrier. Brought down after a pickup of 7, brings up 2nd and 3 now for North Farmington at the 33-yard line. Well, you couldn't ask for any more out of the senior leadership tonight, particularly from Terrence James. Really carried the weight of the offensive load tonight for the Raiders. Responsible for the first few Raiders touchdowns. And we have a flag on the play. It's going to be offsides on the Blackhawks, which is going to be a 5-yard penalty and bring up a Raiders first down. And they're going to respot the ball at the Blackhawk 28-yard line. Trevino working out of the shotgun. Trevino takes the snap, pitches it out to Jeremiah Larkin, and he's met in the backfield. Almost as soon as he touched the ball, the defense was just all over him. That was a 5-yard loss on the play. 2nd and 15 for the Raiders. And mercifully, perhaps, for the Blackhawks of Bloomfield Hills, the clock continuing to run. About 2:42 to go here in this one. And Trevino takes the snap, hands it off. And that's going to be Trey Woods, who brings it in to the end zone for the Raiders touchdown. And adding to the lead, it is now 48-7 for the Raiders. I don't know if the Blackhawks were caught off guard there or what, but as soon as Woods took the ball, he found the daylight he was looking for and ran it in for the touchdown. And now we await the extra point, which would put the Raiders up 49-7. Here we go. The snap. The hold, the kick is on its way, and it is good. And it is 49-7 in favor of North Farmington. And what a game tonight for the Raiders. A statement game so far being made by the Raiders. And if you are the Bloomfield Hills Blackhawks right now, when you get back to your school, you got to go back to the drawing board, find out what went wrong tonight. And no shortage of things to work on, no doubt. We're going to take another look at that touchdown run by Trey Woods. Woods with a cut to the left and just absolutely outrunning the entire Bloomfield Hills defense for that touchdown there. And so North Farmington will get set to kick it off. And here we go. Fayad's kick is going to be fielded. It's going to touch down, at the, looks like the 12-yard line. And it was Eddie Ruska falling down on that ball. Check that. It's going to be at the 15-yard line, 1st and 10 for Bloomfield Hills. And if you're Bloomfield Hills right now, perhaps a good thing that the clock is still moving. We got about a minute, 33 seconds to go in this one. As Rocco Colosimo looks to lead this last drive for the Blackhawks. He's going to hand the ball off, and he's going to be tripped up at the 23-yard line. And Colosimo, sorry, that was, looked like it might have been Desi Commit with the handoff there. So 30 seconds to go in the game. 3rd and 5 for Bloomfield Hills. 49-7 in favor of the Raiders. Colosimo handing it off, and nowhere to go with that one. Met immediately in the backfield. And the final 10 seconds are going to tick down here at North Farmington. And it is going to be a statement win for the Raiders tonight. The two teams are going to meet out at midfield to say job well done, job better done on this night by North Farmington. Your final score tonight, Raiders 49, the Bloomfield Hills Blackhawks 7. Well, if ever a statement needed to be made by North Farmington after a loss, this was definitely it. And they treated the Raider faithful to a huge offensive explosion tonight. And so, with that, we are going to end our broadcast tonight. I want to give a very special thank you to our director, Sean McGuckin, for pushing all the buttons and making me sound better than I actually am. And of course, on behalf of our entire TV10 crew, I'm Brandon Leopold. Thank you so much for watching. Join us again next time, won't you? As always, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for watching, and so long, everybody.